Okay, so let's get back after our short Eid break. So long holidays here. Obviously, I think everybody was out. We were looking at the uh, the prayers of Chitraketu when he meets the Supreme Lord. Yeah, so he has seen the Supreme Lord Sankarshana, and now he is describing exactly. First, of course, he is unable to speak at all, and after that, he is his intelligence takes over, and he is now able to glorify the Lord. And we are now looking at the glorification from the perspective of Chitraketu, who has has gone through a very traumatic phase. From the trauma, he has got self-realization, all because he meets his guru Narada Muni, who gives them the right direction. Yeah, that's what he does. In the sense, that's what a spiritual master does, rather. Okay, so let's look at the next glorification by him. Text number 38. Yeah, Priya Mataji can read.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। विषयतृषो नरपशवो य उपासते विभूतिनः परं त्वां तेषामाशिष ईश तदनु विनश्यन्ति यथा राजकुलम्।
Very nice.
Translation. O Lord, O Supreme, unintelligent persons who thirst for sense enjoyment and who worship various demigods are no better than animals in the human form of life. Because of their animalistic propensities, they fail to worship your lordship and instead they worship the insignificant demigods who are but small sparks of your glory. With the destruction of the entire universe, including the demigods, the benedictions received from the demigods also vanish, just like the nobility when a king is no longer in power. Hare Krishna.
So now he's espousing further philosophy and showing the greatness of the Lord, much of the Supreme Lord, much beyond all the demigods. Yeah, of course, we've seen in our discussions, demigods all belong to this material world, and therefore, whatever opulences they have and whatever opulences they grant, they are all temporary. Yeah. So therefore, here Chitraketu is making a very revolutionary state, not a revolutionary, but a very rebellious statement. He says those who worship various demigods are no better than animals in human form. And why does he make that? We've understood that from Bhagavad Gita. Kama istaiste rita jnanaha prapadyante anya devataha. Yeah, Lord Krishna says that because of kama, yeah, because of various desires, what do human beings do, what do jivas do? They surrender to demigods. So basically their wish fulfilling propensity is what causes them, yeah, or the wish enjoying propensity is what causes them to surrender to demigods. And then tam tam niyamasthaya prakritya niyata swaya, they basically do whatever is required for that demigod worship to get various benedictions that they want. But those benedictions are all temporary. That's what even Lord Krishna says in the ninth chapter. That here, this is what he's also saying. Because of their animalistic propensities. What is the animalistic propensity here? That they want to just enjoy their senses. They fail to worship your lordship, and those who are trying to enjoy their senses do not worship the Supreme Lord, and therefore they worship these insignificant demigods, and basically their benedictions vanish when their body goes away or when the universe anyway goes away. And the analogy given is like the nobility vanishes when the king is no longer in power. If the king is no longer in power, nobody gives him any bhav. Yeah, he says, it's all gone now. Same thing happens to the benedictions given by the demigods. That's what Srila Prabhupada refers here. Kama is taise rita jnanaha. Now, those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods. Yeah, so demigod worship is purely nothing but wanting our fulfillment of various materialistic desires. And therefore, the Lord Krishna says, the kama is taise rita. Rita is is lost or kidnapped, that the intelligence of those who worship demigods is lost, Rita Jnanaha, because they don't know the true nature of the materialistic manifestation. And therefore, they are nothing like, they are like two-legged animals, just wanting to enjoy their senses, enjoy their senses, and enjoy their senses. Whereas, what is the right way? Right way is here, that is described in the Bhagavatam. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi. If you have no desires or you're full of desires, what we have to do? Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivra bhakti has to be done to whom? To the Param Purusha, Lord Krishna. Yeah, that is the right method of wanting. If you have desires, then that is the right method of asking for it. Because what happens when the Lord looks at your propensities, he decides whether this particular benediction is good for your bhakti or no, and then based on that he gives or does not give, yeah, that particular propensity. And even when he gives, automatically purification also comes, like we saw in the case of Dhruva Maharaj. He wanted his father's kingdom, and when he prays to Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva, when he prays, what happens? His propensity to enjoy the kingdom also vanishes. Of course, he has to still enjoy, because the Lord gives him benediction of 36,000 celestial years to rule over Dhruva planet. That's what happens, but that's the Akama Sarva Kamova. Dhruva did this Tivrena Bhakti. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena he did, and because of that, he got that particular benediction fulfilled. Along with that, also, he got something more. So that is the beauty. But with demigods, you pray, you will get your benediction. That is also temporary. It's not permanent to you. Yeah, that's the problem. So therefore, those who are intelligent, they do not surrender to demigods, they just surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what here Srila Prabhupada further adds, that he says this is the duty of a perfect human being, not to surrender to demigods, but to, you can pray to demigods. Pray for what? For asking for devotional service. Yeah, asking for bhakti. That is what we should ask. One who has the shape of a human being, but whose actions are nothing but those of an animal, is called Narapashu or a Dvipat Pashu, a two-legged animal. A human being who is not interested in Krishna consciousness is condemned herewith as a Narapashu. Yeah, so that's the delineation of being human. Okay, let's read further. Yeah, Srinivasan.
Hare Krishna. कामधियस्त्वयि रचिता न परम रोहन्ति यथा करम्भ बीजानि ज्ञानात्मन्युगुणमये गुणगणातो यस्य द्वन्द्वजालानि.
Dvandvajalan. Yes, very nice.
O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth. Just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants, living entities are subjected to the repetition of birth and death because they are conditioned by material nature. But since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material nature. Hare Krishna.
So this is what happens. Yeah, if you just pray to demigods, you will still continue your cycle of birth, old age, disease, death. But if you pray to for the same desire, if you pray to Lord Krishna, yeah, what happens? Because Lord Krishna is transcendental, the propensity to enjoy that desire goes away. So you will get that. You will see. You will get that. Why did I ask for this? Is what you might you will get your realization, because there is the devotion to Supreme Lord is far higher. And exactly the same thing Dhruva Maharaj says. If you remember, of course, that doesn't come directly in the verse in the Bhagavatam discussion, but it comes in another Puran, where he calls that particular when he sees Lord Krishna, for a moment, and he says that why have I been asking for these broken stones or broken pieces of glass when you can give me a diamond? Yeah, that's what that's what Dhruva realizes, that his wanting to rule over the planet or wanting to sit on his father's lap or palace or the throne was like a glass stone as compared to a diamond. Yeah, so that's what here happens. Here another analogy is given, now that just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants, same thing, this praying to Lord Krishna, Yajeta Purusha Param, what does that do? That basically fries or sterilizes our propensity to enjoy this material world. Now the senses, they just get withdrawn, and all you want to do is just serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the senses get so much pleasure, such higher level of pleasure, that you don't want to go lower again. The higher taste, that is what is acquired. Yeah, that's what here Chitraketu is also saying. And of course, we see Bhagavad Gita discussing the same point, and that one who knows the transcendental nature, one who knows transcendental nature of my appearance and activities, does not, upon leaving the body, take birth again. But what does he do? He attains his eternal Lord Krishna's eternal abode. Janma karma cha me divyam. So it's Lord Krishna's janma and Lord Krishna's activities. If you have full faith and understanding in the janma and activities, then we will never take birth again. Now that's what. So basically, what does that mean? That means becoming fully Krishna conscious. Yeah, if you become fully Krishna conscious, you go back home, back to Godhead. Now that's the point Srila Prabhupada makes. And the what is the method? Srila Prabhupada also gives the method. Somehow or the other. He says, Yena kena prakarena, with your whatever desires you have, you connect that desires to Lord Krishna. So if one becomes Krishna conscious somehow or the other, he says, even for material gain. So even for material gain, you become Krishna conscious, not a problem at all. Because that's the many times consideration. Oh, if I pray for, yeah, no problem. As long as you're praying to Krishna, you are getting transcendence. Now, the result is that he will be liberated. So the analogy or the examples given are of these four levels of people, four types of people. Kamad, the gopis, out of lust for Lord Krishna, they prayed to Lord Krishna. Dveshad, Dvesh, who's that? Shishupal. He was so much envious of Lord Krishna that he was 24 hours thinking of Lord Krishna. The reason why you're thinking of Lord Krishna is irrelevant altogether. The fact that you're thinking of Krishna is important. Yeah, that is the point. So Shishupal thinking of Lord Krishna out of envy, irrelevant. Same way, like we see the thing about Putana. Putana feeding Krishna poison, irrelevant altogether for Krishna. For Krishna is beyond poison and nectar. So for who she is feeding me, that's it. What she is feeding me, irrelevant altogether. Yeah, so that's the thing. Bhayat, Bhayat is Kamsa. Kamsa is the example. He was so scared that even if the door would close, you would think Krishna has come. So at the door close, at somebody shouting, he would feel, he was so scared, he would think of Krishna. So he was so scared. Snehat, Sneha, like his father and mother. Yeah, so like that, all these four are common desires everybody has. All we have to do is take these desires and convert them into Krishna consciousness somehow or the other. Yena kena prakarena. Mana Krishna niveshayat. That's the Guru Killi. Guru Killi is a Marathi word, means what? The master key. The master key to becoming Krishna conscious. Yeah. So that's what he says. He says, whether for satisfaction of material desires, because of the influence of envy, because of fear, because of affection, or because of any other reason, if one comes to Krishna, his life is successful. So that's what we have so many desires, we have so many fears, we have so much anxiety. Just every day, morning and evening, you have to just do Dandavat in front of Krishna. Krishna, I'm not going to leave your lotus feet. Yeah, come hell or high water, come, all the fears come in, everything I'm offering it to you. So even fear can be offered, even your anxiety can be offered to Krishna. Yeah, first thing in the morning, you go to office, yeah, and then you say, Krishna, all my tensions, I'm giving it to you. I'm offering this is my bhoga to you today. Yeah, so like that. So that's what we have to do. That's the method basically. Okay, let's see what does Chitraketu say further. Yeah, Manish Prabhuji.
Hey Krishna. Jati majita tada
Jitam.
jati majita.
No. Jitam Ajita.
Acha jati
Jitam.
ajita. Okay. Jitam ajita. Jitam ajita. Okay. Jitam ajita tada bhavata. Yadaha bhagavatam dharma manavaddam. Niskinchana ye manuya atmarama yamu pasate apavargaya.
Apavargaya. Very nice. Nishkinchana. Nishkinchana. This akinchana word has come again now in a different form. It's come in the form of Nishkinchana. Yeah. And Nishkinchana, what happens? Atma Rama. You becomes fully self-satisfied. And how? Apavargaya. All the the pavarga goes away. That's what Srila Prabhupada discusses. Let's see. What does he say? Yeah, go ahead.
O unconquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavad Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desires, like the Kumaras, who are self-satisfied sages, worship you to be liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet.
So the analogy given of or the example given that of the Kumaras. The Kumaras, they have no desires, but to protect themselves from material conditioning, they are praying to Lord Krishna. So again, reason for why they pray to Lord Krishna, irrelevant. They are praying to Lord Krishna is the most relevant part. Yeah. So that is, and then that's what Lord Krishna says, that when you surrender unto me, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. That is the only rule. That is required. That is the only Bhagavad Dharma. That is the uncontaminated religious system. Now, what we have to do? Take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And that is the victory of the Supreme Lord. Why? Because that's what the Supreme Lord wants us to do, basically. Yeah. So now those who accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma get the shelter of the lotus feet. That's what Chitraketu is saying. Srila Prabhupada talks about the what is the definition of Uttama Bhakti here. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. No Abhilasha. My own desires are zero. Now, Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Jnana Karmadi Anavratam. They are not tainted by jnana or karma. All that I need is service of Lord Krishna. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Whatever is good for my Krishna consciousness, I will accept that. Whatever is not good, I will reject all of those. Yeah, that is Bhaktir Uttama. Uttama Bhakti. Definition of Uttama Bhakti. Now, that one should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord favorably, without desires for material profit or gain, through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. Now, this is again the ideal. But to go to the ideal, you can go slow, step by step. You can start with full desires. Every desire I have, I will ask for Lord Krishna. Yeah. And then slowly, you understand, oh, Nishkam karma has to be done. And then you can. But the beginning has to be, the beginning and the end has to be Krishna consciousness. You have to do it in Krishna in the center. Same with Narada Pancharatri. He says, what is bhakti? What is the ultimate bhakti? Sarvopadi vinirmuktam, giving up all kinds of your upadis, all the various tags that we have to each other, have on ourselves. Tat paratvena nirmalam, rishikena rishikesha, by offering our senses to for the pleasure of the senses of the Lord. Sevanam bhakti ruchyate. One should be free from all material designations, cleansed of all material contamination, which means having no material desires. He should be restored in his pure identity and engage in the service of the proprietor of the senses. Rishikena Rishikesha. This is called devotional service. And that's what Bhagavad Dharma is. Full surrender to Lord Krishna. Come hell or high water, I'm never going to leave Lord Krishna. That should be the mentality. Here. And that's what Srila Prabhupada further explains. All of these various representatives of the Supreme Lord, Narada, Shukdev Goswami, the disciplic succession coming from them, they all understood this particular master key, that we have to surrender to Lord Krishna. He says one more point. Now, when they are instructed by the Lord himself about Bhagavad Dharma, they adopt it. And that is the victory of the Lord, for he then reclaims these fallen souls. So already these fallen souls go back home, back to Godhead, because Lord Krishna takes care of them. One more, yeah, this is the one which we every day pray. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. What is the ultimate dharma? Paradharma. Savai pumsam paro dharmo is yato bhaktir adhokshaje, doing bhakti to adhokshaja. Ahaituki apratihata, which has to be continuous, unbroken, consistent, and without any motivation. Yayatma suprasidati, then that is the ultimate. Supreme occupation dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated, uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. And therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about pure devotional service to Lord Krishna, is considered the Amala Puran, the purest form of religion or the purest form of spirituality. Okay, let's read further. Yeah, sorry, some chat is going on. Yeah, Mataji is putting some beautiful shlokas. Yeah, Mataji, explain this one. What is this one?
Prabhuji, this reference is there in the third canto also. Lord Sankarshana telling Bhagavata, Srimad Bhagavatam to Sanat Kumara.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yes,
so
yes.
the same reference is again taken by Chitraketu here.
Very nice. And again, Sankarshana here also coming.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna.
Interesting. I
Yes.
think we have some contract with Sankarshana.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, okay. Very nice. Okay, let's read further. Yeah, Mamta Mataji can read this one.
Hare Krishna. Vishamatirna yatra nrinam tvamahmiti mama taveti cha yadanyatra vishamadhiya rachito yaha sahya vishuddha kshaishnu dharma bahulaha.
Very nice.
Translation: being full of contradictions, all forms of religion but Bhagavata Dharma work under conceptions of rotative results and distinctions of you and I, and yours and mine. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam have no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. There are other low-class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gain of mystic power, but such religious systems, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of irreligion.
So any religion basically which does not propagate love of God, that is problematic. Yeah, so because then what it propagates me and mine. Me and mine, I am the best. I is what is the most important part there. Therefore, there is no concept of Krishna being supreme there in such a religion. And if that religion is what is propagating, then it's problematic. And therefore, Chitraketu is saying they're full of envy and they're full of religion. They say they're religion, but they are actually irreligious. So any religious system that does not give you love of God is problematic. And that's the only checkpoint, basically. So Bhagavad Dharma is no contradiction. Conceptions of your religion and my religion is totally absent because everything is Krishna's religion here. Everything is rotating around Krishna. Krishna and Krishna's, not me and mine, or you and theirs. No, everything is Krishna and Krishna's. Now that's what the central focal point is. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Yeah, mam ekam. Yeah, so only one God. That's what one Krishna rather. Yeah, even God is impersonal in that sense. That's what this particular point is making. Again, how does that come about? Because dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Yamraj, we saw when he talks to his Yamadutas in the Ajamila story, he says that whatever the Lord propagates, or whatever the Lord says, that becomes dharma. So when Lord says sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja, then that is dharma. That is Bhagavad Dharma. So that's for what we have to do. We have to follow whatever is going to help in our Krishna consciousness. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Whatever takes us towards Krishna, good, we do that. Whatever takes us away from Krishna, we stop doing that. So here, that's for if you come to the real Bhagavad Dharma, there will be no concept of anybody is an enemy or anybody is a friend. Everybody is Krishna's servant, and everybody, you see everybody in the same eye. Yeah, you see the super soul in all of them, and you see them as all spirit souls trying to serve the super soul. Yeah, and therefore no one becomes, because you're equipoised, no one is an enemy, no one is your friend. There is no heat, cold. There is no, you are just just like the what is that? The second chapter. The person who's equipoised. What is it? What is that word called? Sthita Prajna. Your Sthita Prajna. Yeah. How does the Sthita Prajna aspect come? Because you see everything as Krishna and Krishna's. Yeah. So of course we see so much of problems in the world today everywhere, just pure because of my religion is best, your religion is bad. Yeah, that is what the entire fight is everywhere. Shia, Sunni, Christianity, Muslim, Hindu, Muslim, everywhere, just everybody thinking I am best, and that is what is the problem. Yeah. So even if we think, oh, Hindu, I am Hindu, yeah, then that is also problematic, because we are considering our as a body on a bodily platform, not on a spiritual platform. Yeah, that's what the okay, it's good for if you want to propagate Bhagavad Dharma using that as a platform, but that cannot become your identity. Then, because then it becomes just a bodily identity. This Janma you're Hindu, next Janma you might be born in some other religion, you don't know, isn't it? So then you should not be attached to that particular aspect. We should be attached only to Krishna and Krishna's, God and godliness. Yeah, that's what Srila Prabhupada talks about in that particular verse. Yeah, and therefore Bhagavad Dharma is not something which is concocted sectarian. It's not a concocted sectarian belief. This is a very beautiful paragraph. Let's read this paragraph. Yeah, Mataji, go ahead.
Krishna. Bhagavata Dharma is not a concocted sectarian belief, but it entails research to find how everything is connected with Krishna. Ishavashyam Sarvam. According to Vedic injunctions, Sarvam Khalva Idam Brahma. Brahman, the Supreme, is present in everything. Bhagavata Dharma captures this essence, this presence of Supreme. Bhagavata Dharma does not consider everything in the world to be false, because everything emanates from the Supreme. Nothing can be false. Everything has some use in the service of the Supreme. For example, we are now dictating into a microphone and recording on a dictating machine, and thus we are finding how the machine can be connected to the Supreme Brahman. Since we are using this machine in the service of Lord, it is Brahman. This is the meaning of Sarvam Khalva Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahman, because everything can be used for the service of the Supreme Lord. Nothing is mithya, false. Everything is factual.
So that's the uniqueness of seeing everything in connection to the Supreme Lord. And that's how you see the equality. Now, why do you see the equality? Because you see everything as a servant of Krishna or service of Krishna. Yeah. So you see the flower, you say, oh, this flower, so beautiful, it will look on Krishna's lotus feet. You see some other spirit soul, oh, he's trying to serve Lord Krishna, let me help him. So everybody is, you see everybody as either Krishna or Krishna's. And that's what brings in the equality, and you don't see anybody as as something me and them. We don't see that particular differentiation. If you see me and them, then you're in duality again, isn't it? Which means you're in the material world, which is problematic. Finally, Srila Prabhupada concludes by saying how Bhagavad Dharma is Sarvotkrishta. Sarvotkrishta, Sarva Utkrishta. Utkrishta is best of all religious system, because those who follow Bhagavad Dharma are not envious of anyone. So we saw differentiation between Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. And as we progress to become Madhyama and Uttama Adhikaris, automatically we leave the differentiation behind. All we see is the soul and the super soul and nothing else. Yeah, that's how the entire vision becomes one, and therefore the oneness comes in here. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's stop there for the day. We are totally out of time. Any quick comments or thoughts? Yeah, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. I was reading about Swami Desikan's works on Swami Krishna. There was one beautiful definition for why Vaishnavas pray only to Krishna. He says, one, it doesn't demean other gods. It is not showing other gods
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
But to have one concentrated point, goal, will make you reach that point very easily, reach that goal easily. As a
Yes.
jiva, our goal is to reach Krishna, to get liberated. You need liberation, you to be in the service of the Lord. You concentrate on that.
No, it's the other way around. We need to be service of the Lord. Liberation is a byproduct.
Yes, that's what. In the service of the Lord, I concentrate on that Lord. And it is all the scriptures say He is going to give you the liberation. He is going to take you out of this. He beautifully says the birth cycle. He doesn't say death.
Correct.
Birth cycle. It is a cycle. There is no end for you at all. As a Atma, you are always eternal. You're just going through the cycle. But for you to go out of this cycle and reach Him, you need to have one goal, one concentrated
exactly.
goal. So you reach that goal very easily.
Exactly.
It was amazing to hear that, like, instead of saying don't do the many other discourse who say, they'll say don't pray to this god, don't pray to that god, this is lower than, it is lower than Vishnu, it is lower than that. When people hear that, they somewhat form an opinion why they are saying only Vaishnavas are big, only Vishnu is big, why they are bringing that concept. But this was amazing that, that lighted a bulb. Wow. Yes. One focus, one point.
Correct. One pointed. Yeah, Anadi can go ahead.
So that's what the shloka in Bhagavad Gita also says, right? Vyavasayatmika buddhi, ekeha kuru nandana. So other than Krishna, there are many branches of, understanding this, that, multiple. But ekeha kuru nandana means only one goal, one aim, that will take us to Him. Back to God or that lotus feet of the Lord, that one goal or one pointed, determination, that's what is needed. Only one Krishna consciousness, that is needed. Than this multiple. Other than Krishna, there are varieties, thousands and, uncountable the sources, where the mind can get engaged and all that. But we don't want that. We have to have one pointed attention. What Mother just said, it's that one goal. I just thought of that sharing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Exactly. Yeah. So not to get deviated, not that we disrespect any other demigods. They're all respected, to be respected, because they will help us in achieving our ultimate objective. Hare Krishna. Okay, let's then close for the day if there are no other comments. Yeah, Rashmati, you can do closing prayers, please.
Hare Krishna. अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भाव समन्विताः मच्चित्ता मत्गतप्राणा बोधयन्तः परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता अहमेवासमेवाग्रे नान्यद्यत् सतसत्परं पश्चादहं यदेतच्च योऽवशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहं ऋते अर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषुच्चावचेष्वनु प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् एतावदेव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
हरे
हरे कृष्ण
कृष्णा।
everyone।